following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, WIU is facing financial problems because of lower student enrollment. Find out what else the university is cutting later on.
Plus, the Macomb Police Department would like to remind the community about a service they provide for National Drug Take-Back Day.
And the flowers are starting to bloom here in West Central Illinois. Stick around for your weekend forecast coming up.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
But first, we have an update on contract negotiations between the WIU Faculty Union and the school's administration. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Devin Brooks.
And I'm John Benedict. The UPI negotiation team said in an email earlier today that bargaining will continue as details of an agreement have yet to be specified. The
email also says the current tentative agreement makes a strike seem less likely, though they say it's difficult to know when an agreement will be reached. On Wednesday, WIU administration and UPI leaders released a joint statement on the continuing contract negotiations between the two parties. The statement said the two groups were close to reaching a tentative agreement. We will update you on more information as it is released.
With the ongoing opioid crisis inflicting the nation, the Macomb Police Department continues to offer an unwanted drug drop-off in their lobby. The National Drug Enforcement Administration designated April 28th as National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. The Macomb Police Department offers a drop-off box every day and urges Macomb residents to drop off all unused drugs. The box is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. All unwanted medications as well as ointments and inhalers are accepted. The medication is returned to the health department for disposal once the box is filled.
The Macomb Police Department is adding 2 new vehicles to their fleet. The department plans to purchase 1 Ford Interceptor and 1 Dodge Charger. Macomb Police Chief Kurt Barker says the cost of both vehicles together is about $58,500. Chief Barker says they will trade in 3 vehicles they are removing, which should be a value of about more than $9,000. The city says the money is expected to come from the Police Protective Fund, not general funds.
A detention hearing is pending in Galesburg for a 15-year-old girl. The McDonough County Sheriff's Office was notified by the West Prairie School District about a handwritten note found in the bathroom at the high school yesterday afternoon. The note threatened an act of violence would occur this Friday. Detectives met with the school to identify the suspect and took the 15-year-old girl into custody. She was charged with felony disorderly conduct. Investigators determined that she did not have access to firearms and did not intend to carry out the act against students.
As the weather warms up and we approach summertime, it's important for Macomb residents to keep up on yard work. 2 mowing bids have been received to help with properties that fail to keep up with yard work. The city requires grass on properties to not exceed 6 inches. The city would call the mowing service to cut down the grass or other parts of the yard above that height that is not in compliance with the city code. The owner would be given 5 days to fix the problem.
In Macomb Community Unit, School District number 185 is currently seeking new members for the Board of Education. All individuals who are interested in applying must be United States citizens. Applicants cannot be registered sex offenders and must be 18 years or older. A letter must be submitted to Jill Myers. Her email is listed on the screen. Letters can also be mailed to the Administrative Center by May 1st. The address is 323 West Washington Street.
The old Diamond Den becomes the new CMK Jewelers and Repairs. Diamond Den owner Sue Milton was in business for 23 years before retiring. CMK owner Mark Kelly has recently taken over the building and is currently providing jewelry repairs. He plans to expand in retail, which will include watches, wedding bands, and engagement rings.
And while the downtown square is gaining a business, it's losing another. The Macomb Office Supply is closing and selling all of their inventory. Business hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The office is located at 206 North Lafayette Street in Macomb.
An educational program for inmates developed at WIU is being highlighted on the national level. University Relations says the Center for the Application of Information Technologies, known as CATE, was recognized by a United States Senate roundtable for their technology-driven high school equivalency exam. This program recently resulted in the first inmate in McDonough County Jail to study and pass the GED exam. The I-Pathways program is being used in several county jails around Illinois.
The Macomb community is invited to hit the track with flapjacks this weekend. The St. Paul's 5K will begin at 7:30 a.m. on Saturday. The run will be followed with a pancake breakfast, The breakfast will be hosted by the Knights of Columbus. This event will take place at St. Paul's School located at 322 West Washington Street. You can register for the 5K by visiting itsyourrace.com.
University Dance Theater is hosting their annual Spring Gala dance concert today until Sunday at Handline Theater. This year's concert will not only show off the talents of the students, but also celebrates the 25th anniversary of their partnership with Bridgeway of Macomb. This year's concert will be at 7:30 p.m. today through Saturday and 2 p.m. on Sunday. It is free to students with school ID and $15 for general admission. Tickets are available at the Handline Theater box office or by calling 309-298-2900.
An Arbor Day celebration will take place in Chandler Park. Tomorrow, the public is invited to join the Macomb City Forester as he plants a white oak. The planting is sponsored by the Macomb Women's Club. The ceremony will begin at 8 a.m. on the southeast side of the park's fountain.
Monmouth College will have its final archaeology lecture of the academic year. This lecture will feature a report on the program's research laboratory presented by visiting speaker Jennifer Martinez. In 2010, the college received anonymous donations of thousands of prehistoric Native American artifacts. These artifacts represent human activity in western Illinois for the last 12,000 years. Martinez's lecture will discuss the collection of artifacts in chronological order. She will also provide an overview of the lab work that students have completed over the year and preview what she sees for the future of the program. The lecture will begin at 7:30 tonight in the Petit.
Declining enrollment at WIU is affecting our campus in a variety of ways. Last week, NEWS3 told you how some dining services will be cut this fall. Now, NEWS3's Thaddeus Pfeiffer reports how student organizations on campus are facing cutbacks.
Fewer students around campus means that there are fewer dollars available for student organizations, and WIU is anticipating another enrollment drop this fall.
We've had a slight decline in the number of students on campus. That's not a secret. And every time that we see a slight decline in students, of course, that means we have a slight decline in funding.
The Council of Student Activity Funds, or CSAF, is the group which looks at the activity fees that students pay and then distributes these funds to the many student organizations around campus.
I mean, we have over 250 some student organizations on campus that are registered, but on average we have anywhere between, let's say, 70 and 80 organizations that will request funding to do programs through CSAF.
One of the student organizations that relies on funding from the Office of Student Activities is our very own radio station, 88.3 The Dog. They use these funds in a variety of ways.
We spent the money on a lot of gear. We made sure to really go above and beyond with the spending on as much as we could of it.
The money was used to buy merchandise like sunglasses, shirts, and cups for the listeners. They also used the funds to upgrade equipment and purchase programs to keep the music on air. However, the budget for next year is hard to finalize until the exact enrollment numbers are released. Right now, for everybody, it's a waiting game.
There's a lot that happens in the summer with SOAR. We really don't have a good feel for where things are at with numbers until after 10th day in the fall.
And with that in mind, student organizations will just have to settle for whatever money is available. For NEWS3, I'm Thaddeus Pfeiffer.
Final results of enrollment will become available within the first 2 weeks of the academic year. Coming up on NEWS3 Live at 4.
We have news on the Bill Cosby sexual assault trial.
Find the results of his trial after the break.
Why I love to do sports anchoring? Because, it's talking about sports. I decided to come to Western because I wanted an experience that wasn't like some other schools. I did color commentary for one volleyball game. I was terrified. I never did any broadcasting in high school, but when I was talking, it was all, staggered, and I had no idea what I was saying. And now I've done so many different games as a color commentator, play-by-play, now sports anchor. Every show and every game, it gets easier and easier, and I get more comfortable doing it.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Sorry, I almost killed you. We've all been misunderstood. You're not a fighter.
Oh, I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
With the right support, everyone can reach their full potential because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
I want to be able to stand in front of a camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, you know, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, and I like to be a part of that and helping people with that.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition.
I chose Western Illinois University.
Roger 4 continues.
One WIU department is doing extraordinary things to get their students prepared for their future. News 3's Sergio Gomez explains how one department traveled to the nation's capital to give its students the best learning opportunities available.
On their 5-day trip, students visited numerous agencies including the Secret Service, FBI, DEA, and local police, among others. For some students, it was an amazing learning experience. For others, it was a dream come true.
My dream has always been to get hired by a federal agency, and so I'm going to see what I can do.
Dr. Anthony McBride, a professor of the Department of Law Enforcement and Justice Administration, took 50 students to Washington, D.C. to get them out of the classroom and in front of the men and women they hope to soon be able to call their colleagues. Providing this opportunity for our students was something Dr. McBride always wanted to do.
Well, I think Western needs a lead on this because we are the #1 law enforcement university in the state of Illinois, so I think we need to lead on it.
And being the first to make a trip like this left everyone in Washington, D.C. impressed.
In fact, in D.C., they were very happy. They said, well, no one has ever contacted us and asked to do anything like so. We were real happy to hear that you wanted to do this.
Professor McBride believes preparing his students in all aspects is key. He runs seminars on physical fitness as well as proper shooting techniques to give them a leg up on the competition.
Well, later on in life, we're always going to be having to do physical agility, stuff like that. So today, with being able to do this, it prepares me for later on in life when I might have to do those obstacles.
Dr. McBride hopes to make this trip an annual event, but on a much larger scale. Reporting for News 3, I'm Sergio Gomez.
Dr. McBride said, since returning from Washington, D.C., his students have been more involved in classes and in their department.
Well, everyone is excited that the WIU University Union Board is bringing big-name artists to Western for their end-of-the-year event known as Westfest. Singer and songwriter Jesse McCartney and rapper Waka Flocka Flame will be performing next Wednesday in the University Union Grand Ballroom on May 2nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online or at the Handline Theater. Tickets are $10 for WIU students, $15 for the public. There will also be a meet and greet with Jesse McCartney for $50. More information can be found on the University Union Board's Facebook page.
Today, Bill Cosby has been found guilty on all 3 counts of felony aggravated incident assault on Andrea Constant, a former Temple University administrator, in a retrial. The jury of 7 men and 5 women spent hours deliberating yesterday and spent this morning reviewing a testimony made by a friend of Constant. Cosby denies the charges, stating that he only gave her an over-the-counter allergy medicine. He could be sentenced to 10 years in jail for each count.
Well, a lot of people are breaking out the shorts, but will we be able to ditch the jacket soon?
Storm Team 3's Molly Naslin has a look at your 5-day forecast after the break.
I chose Western Illinois University because I could get involved right away. You're going to gain experience. I'm going to be able to just become successful right out the gate. I'll be a news reporter and eventually become a news anchor one day. I've always felt that as a strong speaker, I could be a voice for the voiceless, but as long as I continue to believe in myself, work hard, and show that I want to put my best foot forward, I think that anything is possible.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today, I'm just an aluminum can, but one day, I could be a stadium.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, Macomb. We're not as warm as we were on Tuesday, but we're still very warm for this time of the year. We are at 68 right now and very sunny skies. We're seeing plenty of blue in the skies today as there aren't very many clouds. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Our humidity is low at 26%, and our dew point is also very low at 32 degrees. Looking at our averages, we are just above average for our high right now. It's really nice to hear the sound of being above average for this time. Our low is about 44 degrees for average, so we're going to get down to that average low tonight, but we have had a record of 92 degrees and 29 for our high and our low, but that hasn't been for a very long time. Looking at our surface map, we have a bit of a cold front coming in. It's not going to change our temperatures too much as we roll into the weekend. It is going to keep those sunny skies in our forecast. We won't be seeing too many clouds as the weekend progresses. Now, this is that line of clouds following that high pressure, that bit of a cold front change. Again, there's not a whole lot going on behind it. We're still going to be seeing sunny skies as the weekend continues. Again, right now, 68 here in Macomb. There's a lot of 60s and 70s with 70 in Keokuk and Beardstown, and Quincy is seeing 69 right now. Tonight, we're going to be around average for our lows with 44 here in Macomb. There's plenty of 40s across the board. Again, this is when we're going to start seeing that cold front move through as we move into the weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to be just a tad warmer than we were today with 69 in Macomb and 70s across the rest of the board. We're going to be a bit of a cold spot here. And then tomorrow night here in Macomb, we're going to have 39 degrees. We're just going to be a little bit cooler across the region with 30s and 40s, but this is still around average for this time of year. Again, tonight, low of 44 degrees, winds out of the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour, so they will be picking up as the evening goes on. But with those clouds, it's going to keep those temperatures just a little bit warmer. Now tomorrow, we'll see a high of 69 degrees with some mostly sunny skies. So that sun's going to stay out in our forecast. Some stray clouds here and there, but the winds are going to be picking up to 19 miles per hour, so it's going to be a little bit windier tomorrow. Then your 5-day forecast. Again, Saturday is when we're going to see that cold front move through, and we're going to dip down to 57. Sunday is when the sun comes back out, and then Monday and Tuesday, we're expecting 70s for our highs.
That is like almost to 80 degrees. Can we just like keep this coming and it's dry and it feels good?
The only thing is that there is a chance for scattered thunderstorms on Tuesday. We're going to keep an eye on that as those temperatures warm up.
So we're getting a lot of good spring weather, which means we got spring sports, bats flying. How's that sounding?
John, you're totally right. Baseball season is in full effect. Coming up next on Live at 4, runs aplenty on both WIU Diamonds, as the WIU men's baseball team took the field against in-state foes Southern Illinois University Edwardsville. Could the Leathernecks pile on the runs for the win? And the WIU softball team said, let's play two. A doubleheader against SEC powerhouse Mizzou turned into a run fest. Find out who crossed home plate next in sports.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career. And I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Zach Stone. With the weather finally taking a turn for the better, the WIU men's baseball team were out yesterday. An in-state battle against Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville would be an offensive onslaught. Alfred D. Boyer Stadium, the location for yesterday's matchup. Western Illinois freshman Jack Carberry on the rubber for his first collegiate start. Early on, a chopper to the first baseman is too hard to handle. C.J. Schaefer reaches first base on the E3, scoring Bailey Montgomery, and WIU lead 1-0 in the first inning. And Bailey Montgomery would find his way home again. A pitch right at the head of C.J. Schaefer, walks home. Montgomery and Steve McShane close to getting pelted there. Drew Galassi with a sharp one towards the second baseman under the glove, and it's going to score too. Western double their lead in the bottom of the third, and this is the offensive onslaught I was talking about. Everybody able to get it done for WIU. Dylan Sears sending one to the shortstop. He flips it for the fielder's choice, but guess who beats the throw? Sears does. McShane scores 5-0 Western. And Bailey Montgomery would add to his day a single and an RBI as Mitch Ellis rounds third. He gets the run. WIU storm off. 8-2 the final score. The Leathernecks would pile it on. 8 runs all before the 6th inning. Freshman pitchers Jack Carberry and Jace Workentine pitched a no-hitter through 6 before giving up their first hit. The Cougars would get consolidation runs, but WIU takes this one 8-2. And both Diamonds in use yesterday. Women's softball playing too. The visiting team, SEC powerhouse Mizzou, who are ranked #1 in the nation in terms of the strength of their schedule. Early on, Emily Ira had the stuff working. Ahead in the count, the rise ball is fanned on for the strikeout. 1 inning later, Ira would be doing it again. Another fan by the Mizzou Tiger, and it looks like Ira was in control. But Kessinger, the Mizzou California native, blasts one to right field, and that thing is never coming back. You can just kiss it goodbye. I was showing my friends this one earlier today, and everyone was just blown away by the sheer power coming off the bat of Kessinger. And that's not a name that I'm going to stop with today. She has a couple more highlights coming up. And here she is once again. Kessinger would continue to give problems A runner in scoring position, a single into right center scores the run, but Western would try and keep it close, only down 3 at this point. And in the 6th inning, that's when things really started to get bad. Edwards here, she puts the barrel through one, straight away center. Ely loses it out there, but collects, throws to the cutoff, but you see both Mizzou Tigers rounding third. There's a play at the plate, and they're just going to beat out the tag. Mizzou doubles their lead, 4-0 there, and they would go on to crush the Leathernecks in Game 1, 7-0. They take that one on the chin, giving up 7 runs. On the offensive side, not much going for WIU. They would only be able to put together 3 hits in Game 1 of that doubleheader. In Game 2, Western would struggle for offense as well. 4 hits to match Mizzou's 4, but no runs to show for it. Mizzou taking both games on the road, 2-0 the final score in that one. But in Game 2, we would see the Leathernecks get more aggressive defensively. We've got some highlights here from catcher Sidney Bottino, gunning down runners at second. What an arm she's got, and she did it twice. If you can think about that, a catcher throwing out 2 people at second in the same game, and this one's the better one. You're going to see her take the pitch outside, leads the throw, the tag to the helmet. The tag is applied, and that's the first out of that inning. And without much defensive efforts on the other side of the ball, Bottino had those things going for her. The junior from Lockport showing that her side of the ball, her defensive upside, means that she should be on that plate more in that lineup. And football season is still months away, but the most important day of the season starts today, draft day. For fans across the next 3 days, can either make or break their season. The Browns owning 2 of the top 5 picks means that they can bolster their roster. The Giants and Jets split the middle of the Cleveland picks, and rounding out the top 5 are the Denver Broncos. And arguably the most highly talked about player in this year's draft, Baker Mayfield takes us back 27 years with a perfect replica of the 1991 photo of Brett Favre's draft day jorts. Whether he'll slip into the second round like Favre did remains to be seen. That's sports. Final word is next.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western Day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Another record-breaking year for the Western Challenge. Leatherneck Pride was in full force on Tuesday, raising more than $153,000 with over 800 donors.
The money raised passed last year's total by over $19,000. The money was raised in just 24 hours.
Wow, that is awesome. Now the weather outside is looking beautiful, isn't it?
The weather that we have coming up in the next 5 days is absolutely gorgeous. We have 69 degrees coming up tomorrow with sunny skies. Saturday, we're going to get a little bit cooler at 57. Then Sunday, we're going to bring that sunshine out. And Monday and Tuesday, we'll be seeing highs in the mid to upper 70s with some cloudy skies and a possible chance for thunderstorms.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much, Molly. And that's all for us today.
But we are online all the time.
Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU.
You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.